Spencer, you were just talking about how this place has importance beyond just it being a building. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that, how people think of Star of Hope as a geography.
Right. Okay. Well, so for one thing is that because Star of Hope is the result of those families coming together to create their own meeting spot. If you think of the black portion of Tacony as a small town, then in a lot of ways, Star of Hope would be like our town center. It's the place where all the big events happen. And that's whether you're a member of the church still, whether you were a member of the church in the past, whether you're just kind of connected sort of through those families. The expectation is that when you have a big event, a major milestone in your life, that Star of Hope or one of Star of Hope's buildings is going to be involved in that milestone to some extent. Like I can say, years ago when I was preparing to get married, my family immediately thought that my wife and I were going to have our wedding in the Star of Hope building, and that our reception was going to be at Star of Hope's hall a few blocks away. That just was the expectation, because that's just what everybody does, and that way everybody from the community can all come and partake and celebrate to some extent. And even for like these years that I haven't been a part of this community as closely, the Star of Hope building and Star of Hope's hall, which is a few blocks away, have still been like a major part of a lot of the major milestones in my family. Because,
So when you come here, when you actually come here, I know you live a bit further north now.
Yes.
What does it feel like for you when you come here? Like even today, what did it feel like?
It's like a homecoming. It's like a homecoming because I spent so much of my childhood in various areas here. Like, you look at the annex behind you. Like, so we used to have this organization called the Pioneer Club, which is like a Christian version of the Scouts. And when I graduated from high school, I won a national scholarship for the Pioneer Club. But the Pioneer Club for years met in the annex. And that's how like my generation, how a lot of the kids in my generation got to know each other, because we all were a part of that. So, I'll look around and I'll like have flashbacks to the little versions of us, wearing our uniforms.
That's what I said. Did you have uniforms?
And actually, I showed you that picture that I sent you.
Yeah.
That picture was the Pioneer Club.
Oh, no.
So when you see that uniform, all the uniforms that all the little kids were wearing, I had one just like it. So when I see that, like I have those memories. Or even like in my grad school years when I first came back, we had a step team that I helped to start at the church with some of my experiences from my fraternity. So like I'll look at the garage where our church bus used to be, and I can have like mental flashbacks of all the kids. They're all grown now, but all the kids that were on the step team that I started, we would all like practice in that area right in front of the garage, just because we couldn't always get in the church building, and there wasn't a large enough space for the big group of us to practice. So I think that's how it is for me, that I come back here and it's just all these memories come back up. Or even when I think about like, my parents got married here. I mean, they got divorced, but still, they got married here. A lot of the weddings in my family took place here. The majority of the funerals I've been to in my life involving my family all took place here. Wow. So whenever I come in this area, even just walking around outside, it's like a flood of things that I haven't even thought about trying to come back up to the surface. Because this place has so much meaning. It's not just like a place. There's a lot of emotional attachment to it for me.
Do you feel the same way?
Oh, of course, because the building that used to be, that building there, that's the annex now, it used to be a store when we were growing up, and we used to go to that store. And down here, there was a store at the corner, there was a store called Gaddis. We used to get our candy and come to church and get scolded by our aunts and uncles and the elders in the church because we were eating in church. But so when I came back in this very store that we used to purchase, food, and it was a deli. It was a deli, and who just passed us? One of the ministers of the church just passed us.
On the card?
In the card, right there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Her husband is my cousin. Her husband is connected to the Johnson family. So when he's talking about that, I remember when we were children going to the annex, and it wasn't even an annex, it was a store we used to come to, and then to come back and realize that it's being used because now the church has a part of it. The church owns it. So that's a historical piece for me. So when
This is your whole life.
So when he's talking about that, You know what I mean? So many emotions. You go through so many emotions, you know, warm memories, you know, of just joy. You know what I mean? And then sadness because it's not like it used to be no more because you've gotten older. And then some of the people, the elders that you know, you would talk Bible study or you talked to and you went to church with, they're gone. The number of funerals that you've attended, you know, that these were the very people that you worship when you were younger. You know, and when you speak of all that, they're not here anymore. So there's a sense of emptiness and some mourning that goes on, but it's a sense of joy too because you can remember this fun. I'm gonna give you another tidbit. When there was a time at church that they had to have 2 baptism services because everyone, all the youth, that was my age, a little older, all the youth, they all joined church at the same time.
Oh.
So what happened was there was too many, so they had to have 2 Sundays to baptize them.
Where did you do it? Did you do it here in the church?
It was done here,
Yeah,
but
they-
it's done two different services.
Yes,
There's a pool.
There's a baptismal pool underneath the pulpit.
Oh, wow.
Underneath the pulpit.
We're going to have to get you a tour of the building.
I know, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
And what happens is you had to get 2 Sundays because it was so many of all of us, the cousins,
So was this like packed with
it was
family
packed,
members?
It was packed with not only family, it was packed with the kids that were going to get baptized. Because
Wow.
everybody who was a part of the Sunday school, everybody who went to Bible. Oh,
How many kids was that?
Oh my goodness, I can't number because and then we talk about the Bible, summer Bible school and the picnics we used to have. Oh my goodness, we
Where
used
would
to
you
go to
hold
Donny
them?
Park. We used to go to Donny Park, Hershey Park. Every summer there was 2 buses that was populated with the church, church attendants and the kids, and the families would cook chicken and potato salad and everything and prepare, and we go and have barbecue and have Bible picnic Sunday is summer picnic.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.